Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a really fascinating framework from the Arch City Business Academy. Let me introduce you to Marcus. Marcus is basically the poster child for the contractor who couldn't close. I mean, the guy does flawless five-star work, callbacks practically non-existent, and the customers who actually hire him absolutely love the results. But he's barely keeping his business afloat. So why exactly do great contractors like Marcus keep losing jobs to way lesser competitors? It's kind of a brutal reality in the residential trades. Look, Marcus showed up on time, he measured everything perfectly, and sent out these beautiful professional quotes. But inside, man, he was hiding. He was terrified of coming off as pushy. He'd just drop a number, force a smile, hand over the folder, and literally run back to his truck. And then, crickets. He was bleeding jobs to guys with half his skill, all because of how they handled the sales process. Okay, let's dive straight into this. To fix the exact issues Marcus was facing, we're going to walk through a highly structured playbook. We'll hit the sales mindset, the estimate appointment, handling customer objections, generating leads and referrals, and finally, closing with absolute confidence. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the sales mindset, helping versus hustling. To make this work, you need to completely drop the idea of being a high-pressure closer. We really need to reframe what selling actually means in your industry. You are not some high-pressure salesperson relying on manipulative tricks or fast-talking pitches. No way. You need to become the trusted consultant. And what does a consultant do? They ask questions, they actually listen, and they explain the options. You aren't just there to grab a customer's cash. You're there to solve a real, tangible problem they have. And hey, get paid fairly for doing it.
And when you step into that trusted advisor role, you're directly answering the 5 big questions your customers are secretly asking themselves. They're thinking, do you know what you're talking about? Are you honest? Are you actually going to show up when you say you will? Will the work look right? And if something hits the fan, will you fix it? Honestly, your close rate is really just a reflection of how well you build trust in these 5 areas, not how aggressively you pitch.
I want you to basically sear this quote into your brain. Selling done right is problem solving with a price attached. This one little idea completely shatters the 3 biggest limiting beliefs that hold contractors back. First, that fear of, I don't want to be pushy, which, by the way, the customer usually just misinterprets as you not caring. Second, the whole myth that quality speaks for itself. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Customers need to be guided. And third, the fear that a no means you failed. Just think about Marcus for a second. A no isn't a failure, it's literally just new information. Moving on to Section 2, the estimate appointment from first contact to signed contract. Look, this appointment is the single highest leverage interaction in your entire business, so we've got to stop treating it like a casual measurement visit. Because the truth is, your sales appointment starts before you even pull into the driveway. You've got to set it up to win. Send a quick confirmation text the day before and show up exactly on time. Not rushing in 5 minutes late with a spilled coffee and a panicked apology like Marcus on a rough day. Exactly on time. And show up looking clean and professional. Your punctuality and your appearance, those are literally the very first data points the customer uses to judge your reliability. Once you're actually on site, just walk right through this 4-part framework. Number 1, connect. Build some genuine human rapport before you even touch on business. 2, discover. Ask really targeted questions and, actually listen to the answers. 3, present. And guys, this is a massive takeaway. Present your solution before you drop the price. Doing it this way builds context and value before the numbers even enter the chat. And finally, number 4, close with a direct ask. But hey, it's not always a totally smooth ride, which brings us to Section 3, handling customer objections around price, timing, and stalls. Let's enthusiastically reframe this whole concept right now. An objection is absolutely not a rejection. It is literally just a request for more information. You're pretty much guaranteed to hear 5 common objections. So when a customer says, wow, your price is too high, or I really need to talk to my spouse, do not panic. And whatever you do, don't immediately offer some unprompted discount like Marcus used to do. These are entirely predictable moments. It's your chance to clarify value, dig into their real budget concerns, and position yourself as a true advisor. Maybe even by offering to chat with the spouse directly. And then there's this phrase, I need to think about it. I swear, every contractor's stomach just drops when they hear this. It's the most common and honestly the most frustrating stall you are ever going to hear in residential sales. But we have to translate what that stall actually means in the real world. What they're really saying is, I'm uncertain about something and I just don't feel comfortable saying it to your face. So when you hear this, please don't just hand over your business card and bolt. Instead, just gently reply with, of course. Can I ask what specifically you're thinking through? That is exactly how you uncover the actual hidden concern so you can deal with it head on. All right, zooming out to the macro level, here's section 4, generating leads and referrals. We absolutely have to kill the feast and famine cycle. You know how it goes. Contractors get swamped with work, they completely stop prospecting, and boom, a few months later, their pipeline is totally dry. To fight that, you need systematic outreach, specifically targeted door-to-door canvassing. And the highest leverage tactic you can possibly deploy here is the neighbor knock. Think about it. If you're on an active job, you've got massive social proof. So go knock on the 5 surrounding houses. Introduce yourself, casually mention you're working right next door, and offer a quick assessment. It's helpful, it's highly professional, and man, does it convert. And all that groundwork perfectly sets up the absolute most valuable lead source on the planet: cultivating referrals and grabbing Google reviews. The absolute best time to ask for these is in the literal minutes after a completed job, right when the customer's excitement is at its absolute peak. Just hand them the link right then and there. So why push so hard on referrals? Because of this one powerful metric, 5x. A referred customer is worth 5 times more than a cold lead. They already trust you, they aren't aggressively comparison shopping, and they are way more likely to just accept your price. Setting up a super simple $25 to $50 referral incentive program is incredibly effective. It'll basically pay for itself over and over again. All right, we've hit the climax of the playbook. Section 5, closing with confidence. This right here is where Marcus used to just completely freeze. We see it all the time. Amazing contractors losing jobs simply because they present their estimate, stand there awkwardly waiting, and never actually ask for the business. They leave the whole thing completely ambiguous. Listen, closing does not require some sleazy, high-pressure tactic. It literally just requires one thing: the guts to ask a direct question. Now, there are 2 ways to play this. You've got the assumptive close, like saying, so when would you want us to start? Which is awesome when the momentum is super high. But the direct ask? The direct ask works every single time. The absolutely crucial point is looking the customer right in the eye and delivering this simple, slightly vulnerable, but totally honest script. I'd really love to earn your business on this project. Are you ready to move forward today? No weird tricks, just total confidence. And then, complete silence. Do not, under any circumstances, fill that silence with nervous rambling. And definitely do not blurt out some sudden apology for your pricing. The customer is just processing. The very first person to speak after the close loses some of the power in that conversation, so let them speak first. Now, obviously, not every single job closes right there at the kitchen table, and that brings us to the mandatory 48-hour rule. If an estimate is still open, you must follow up within 48 hours. Seriously, a quick, friendly check-in call closes so many jobs that your competitors are just abandoning because they falsely assume that silence means a no. So, just to summarize this entire playbook for you, mindset is your foundation. The 4-part framework is your actual structure. Objection handling is what bridges the gap. Outreach keeps your pipeline flowing. And the close is what takes all of that hard work and converts it into actual revenue. Sales is literally the one skill that acts as a multiplier for your great operations and your pricing. I want to leave you with this final thought to take away from our explainer today. Take a hard look at your business right now. What would your business look like if you stopped hiding like Marcus used to and actually asked for the job with confidence every single time? I guarantee you the answer is yes way more often than you think. Thanks for learning with me today.